A Tampa neighborhood can sleep soundly again. We have the latest details on a suspect arrested in connection with the Tampa Seminole Heights murders. A Manatee County Park lake full of an invasive species, why nearby residents are concerned. And NBC News fires longtime Today Show host Matt Lauer for inappropriate sexual behavior. Your Suncoast News starts now.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping in our news today at noon, relief in a Tampa neighborhood after the arrest of a man charged with 4 murders. Last night, Tampa police arrested Howell Donaldson III. The 24-year-old is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder. For nearly 2 months, the Tampa area has been on edge. But once they had their suspect, police wanted to get the word out as quickly as possible.
We knew it was our guy, and we wanted to put the word out there so the people of Seminole Heights could get some sleep.
The 4 victims were shot and killed within a half mile of each other in the Seminole Heights neighborhood. Police Chief Brian Dugan says Donaldson used the same gun in all of the shootings. Dugan saying this morning Donaldson was cooperative with investigators, but he did not tell authorities why he was doing this. We'll be updating you on this story as it develops later in the newscast. Sarasota County Jail is reaching capacity, and county commissioners will soon have a decision to make: build a new jail or reduce the number of inmates inside the current one. Sheriff Tom Knight says the jail is filling up with third-degree felons, particularly those who are drug addicts. Those inmates serve an average of 60 days in jail, compared to misdemeanor convicts who serve an average of 21 days. Sheriff Knight estimates building a new jail would cost taxpayers $80 million and supports the idea of creating diversion recovery programs for addicts instead.
I believe in rehabilitation. I believe in diversion. I believe in making people better. And some of the incarcerations that we see now with smart justice is that the old philosophy of locking them up until they behave doesn't work with addiction. So can we do something better with addiction to give people services to make them better people getting back out in society?
Sarasota County Commissioners seem to agree, or at least open to the idea of discussing recovery programs at future meetings. Efforts to resolve Sarasota County's homeless problem moving ahead. Sheriff Knight giving county commissioners the financial details and what it will cost his department to implement a quality of life ordinance, saying a new team to enforce it would cost more than $600,000. Earlier this month, commissioners approved the ordinance, which makes it illegal to camp and store property on public land. According to the plan, the sheriff's office will have to hire multiple new employees who will need additional training.
This is an operation that the board is going to ask me to perform. It'll cost over $614,000 to start, and that'll push us to over $10 million a year of services that we provide on the behalf of the Board of County Commissioners. So it is concerning about how much is building into the budget and how much ad valorem taxes are going to take to continue to fuel up that budget.
Tuesday's presentation was only a workshop. Commissioners will vote on whether to approve the sheriff's request in the coming weeks. A lake within a Manatee County park has been taken over by aquatic plant life. This is what the lake at Conservatory Park in southern Manatee County looks like now. About 90% of it is covered with what experts call water lettuce. It's an aquatic plant that's considered to be an invasive species. Those who live near the lake are frustrated at what they've witnessed over the last few weeks and are concerned about the animals that call the lake home.
It's very upsetting. You know, when I'm used to coming back here and looking at a beautiful lake, you know, and now I'm looking at this, it looks like a football field instead of a lake.
The last few weeks, it just keeps growing and growing. Yeah, we didn't know what it was, and just out of curiosity, we're watching how it's growing. It's very invasive, and we're wondering what's going to happen to the little lake here.
Concerned residents are being asked to call the Manatee County Action Center to voice their concerns. No one from Manatee County could be reached for comment. All right, let's get a check on our Wednesday weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi. And hey, another great day on the Suncoast.
It's like a broken record, right?
One after another.
I know, especially for warm weather lovers, I think. You
Yeah.
know, they really like this trend.
So we're above normal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely so, by 7 to 8 degrees,
Wow.
something like that. Yeah. And today, there'll be some records broken somewhere across the state of Florida, I'm sure. Probably not ours, but some places will get very close to tying or beating their record today. Already at 82 degrees, which is, you know, well above the 76 would be our normal daytime high. So again, we are looking at temperatures that'll probably be in the mid or lower 80s across the region. I tell you what. Maybe some colder air coming in about 2 weeks. Some of the long-range forecasts kind of hinted that, but certainly none today. Casey Keycat webcam shows all those beautiful blue skies peppered with a few fair weather clouds. Those are just very benign clouds. They're not going to produce any rainfall for us across our region, but perhaps inland areas may see a spot of rain. That's really about it. The little disturbance that had been causing our high-level cloud cover kind of in the process of just falling apart, actually. High pressure building in. There's another front back behind it on the way, but that one's going to have a hard time doing anything. You can see those few showers that I was talking about that might enter into areas of inland Hardee, DeSoto, and Charlotte counties. They probably have about a 20% chance in extreme eastern parts of those counties. But for us along the coast, I think we stayed dry today with a daytime high that again tops out warm. 83, 84 degrees for a daytime high, certainly not out of the question. We'll talk all about the forecast in just a few. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Shocking news delivered on the air this morning that Matt Lauer was fired from NBC News. He's been a fixture on the Today Show for nearly 25 years. NBC saying they fired their lead anchor after receiving a complaint of inappropriate sexual behavior from a colleague. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
Good morning. Breaking news overnight. Matt Lauer has been terminated from NBC News.
Matt Lauer's Today Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie breaking the news live on air.
Our chairman has released a statement saying a colleague had come forward reporting behavior in violation of our company's standards.
According to an NBC spokesperson, Lauer's accusers alleging inappropriate sexual behavior throughout 2014.
How do you reconcile your love for someone with the revelation that they have behaved badly?
A mainstay of the Today Show for nearly a quarter of a century, Lauer's abrupt departure leaves his former NBC colleagues in shock.
I've known Matt for 15 years, and I've loved him as a friend and as a colleague.
I'm still dealing with the news of a friend of 30 years, and we're all trying to process it.
President Trump was quick to tweet about Matt Lauer's firing, but he's facing allegations of his own. At least 16 women have accused the president of sexual misconduct. The president has denied the accusations, calling the women liars. Lauer's firing comes just 1 week after another network morning show host, Charlie Rose, was fired from CBS after several women came to the Washington Post with allegations of being sexually harassed by the anchor. According to People magazine, the mood around NBC right now is like there's been a death in the family, and that today's announcement came out of nowhere. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Here at home this weekend, downtown Sarasota will host the annual holiday parade right down Main Street. The parade will begin at Main and US 301 in downtown Sarasota, and then will end at J.D. Hamill Park at Main Street and Gulfstream Avenue. There will be several vehicle tow-away zones and street closure notices in effect for the following times. From 7 a.m. Saturday until 12:30 a.m. Sunday, Main Street will be closed from 301 to 41. And then from noon Saturday until 12:30 a.m. Sunday, Fletcher Avenue will be closed from Main Street to Fruitville Road. And then from 2:30 p.m. Saturday until 12:30 a.m. Sunday, Lemon Avenue will be closed from First Street to Main Street. The downtown holiday parade begins at 7 o'clock. You can find a full list of closures on our website at mysuncoast.com. A local nonprofit is giving back to the community, helping those in need. Goodwill Manasota encouraging shoppers to buy their holiday sweaters secondhand and then decorate their finds. They're calling it their Ugly Sweater Christmas Sweater Challenge. Now, once you decorate your sweater, you're asked to post a photo of it wearing it on the Goodwill Manasota Facebook page. You can also send us a copy. We'd love to see your creations as well. And don't forget, iPhone and iPad users need to download the new version of the ABC7 News app. The old one will expire after tomorrow, meaning you'll no longer get the latest news from our community delivered right to your iPhone. Just search for WWSB or My Suncoast in your app store. Android users are getting this update automatically. Still to come in your Suncoast News, traumatic brain injury is something people typically relate with athletes, but why doctors are saying anyone is at risk of getting it during the holidays. And we'll have the latest on the missing teen from Jacksonville, what her parents are saying about the soccer coach that she may have run off with.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to someone who's been to hell and back and tell you how she's now helping others avoid her mistakes.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055, 800-793-6055.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So temperatures are pretty similar to yesterday, a little bit warmer by a couple of degrees, but what's warmer still is the dew point value, which is kind of closing in on that 70-degree mark. Now, when the dew point gets pretty close to 70, you start to notice the humidity outside. And for some folks today, I think they're going to call it a little bit too humid for comfort. Certainly, I think a lot of the air conditioners will be running this afternoon, no doubt about that, if nothing more than just to slice the humidity, even if you're okay with an air temperature in the 80s. East wind coming in at about 14, helping to draw in that moisture from the Atlantic coast. Temperatures most everywhere, again today, like yesterday, because the winds are a little breezy, are kind of uniform. We're looking at 79 degrees Wauchula, 80 degrees in Arcadia, 81 in Venice, 80 in Northport, 82 in Sarasota, 80 in Lakewood Ranch Parish and Bradenton, 79 in Myakka, 79 in Inglewood, 77 Longboat Key. So you get the picture. With that easterly wind flow, we get that low-level moisture kind of picked up by the foam from the Atlantic Ocean, by sea spray from the Atlantic Ocean. All those things are kind of picked up by the atmosphere, and it moistens the atmosphere. And when you have a long fetch of wind, as we do right now, coming in off the Atlantic, it moistens that air pretty effectively and then carries it all the way across the peninsula into our area. If we could get that wind to be a little bit more northerly, it might reduce the humidity just a little bit. And I think that's going to happen certainly by the weekend, and maybe even the day before then, maybe even on Friday. A little bit of fair weather cloudiness, this time coming at us from the Atlantic coastline and caused, locally grown as well, caused by that humidity that's in the air being lifted in response to the daytime heating, which is pretty significant, and bringing us a few partly cloudy skies. Otherwise, there are two systems that we're going to continue to monitor. That's what the trail of clouds is that you see on our satellite view. Two separate low-pressure areas and frontal boundaries approaching the United States at this hour. The first one is probably going to just fall apart, I think. It's not going to be a big weather maker for us. But the second one, on its heels, will actually move through our area in a kind of uneventful way on Friday. But it will draw down some slightly drier air and some slightly cooler air. This is not going to be a big cool down cold front, but it will help to make the atmosphere feel a little more comfortable, I think, over the weekend. So not a bad thing. High pressure stays with us today. It gives us that easterly wind flow. It keeps us in that warm, humid air. The temperatures around sunset time will probably drop off a little more slowly than in previous days because the air is a little more humid, and humid air tends to retain the heat a little bit better than dry air. So warm today, higher humidity, but still dry. Not many showers around, except if you're traveling east. I think you'll encounter a few. Across the nation, things are pretty quiet in terms of weather. Got a few snow showers in down east Maine, but rain showers kind of ending in parts of the Pacific Northwest, and just a few scattered showers in the plains. For us, it's mostly in the southern tip of the state, from Fort Pierce southward through Miami. Again, another not so great day down there, with a lot of cloud cover and some intermittent showers. For us, winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 become a little breezy tonight, northeast at about 15. And the forecast for the next several days calls for those daytime highs in the afternoon to be warm, but the humidity is starting to fall off a little bit as we head to Friday, when that front limps through and dries us out a little bit and cools us off a little bit, just in time for the weekend. Scott?
Weekend looking good. Thank you, John. Holiday decorating can be a fun activity for the entire family, but according to the CDC, tens of thousands of people will be treated in emergency rooms each year for decorating-related falls. It's important to know falls can also result in more serious injuries to the head, brain, or spinal cord, which can be life-altering or even life-threatening. Traumatic brain injury, or TBI, is what we often think of when professional athletes suffer concussions, but doctors say the same type of injury can happen from a fall off of a ladder or a roof. What do medical professionals recommend? They say stay off the roof.
Climbing on ladders can be very dangerous. Try and avoid it if you can. If you do need to climb on a ladder, be very careful and have someone spot you. There's a lot of adaptive equipment nowadays to help you hang things from gutters and up high. I recommend that you use those to avoid being on the ladder.
Dr. Waters also says it can be easy to overlook dangers such as electrical wires. He recommends inspecting cords for fraying or damage and making sure you don't overload electrical outlets to avoid the risk of electrocution. And with the holiday season in full swing, it's easy for stressed consumers to stop living within their budget. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling suggests the following shopping tips to keep you free of debt stress. Consider gifts that have a personal touch, such as something homemade. Remember, it's the thought that counts. A realistic budget is essential for keeping spending under control. They recommend paying with cash when possible. Leave your checkbook and credit cards at home to avoid the temptations for unplanned or unnecessary purchases. And once you've completed your shopping list, stop shopping. More mall time can lead to more spending. All right, let's get over to the kitchen and say hello to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who has a guest today from Carmel Kitchen. Judy?
Well, that's right. I have Chef Alex in the kitchen.
Hello, Judy.
I'm excited. I know you had a really big wine dinner, big success last night.
Yeah,
but
it was
you're
great.
Here in the kitchen. Congratulations. You're here today to make us what?
We're going to be making our lamb chops with polenta. We actually took them off the menu, and it's such a high demand for them that we had to put them back on as a continuous special, I guess. So
That sounds great. So we're going to be cooking in just a few minutes, but I have to tell you, as a consumer, if you have a favorite thing on the menu, often if you even talk to the chef will say, you know, call us a few days ahead of time if you're unable to put it back on the menu, but you did it right. You brought it back.
Yeah, of course.
And you'll find out how to make this at home starting in just a few minutes. I love polenta, and it's that time of year where you're going to have a lot of dinner parties, so stay tuned. I think you'll really enjoy it.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Chances, redemption, and the power of the human spirit. ABC 7's Linda Carson introduces author Tiffany Jenkins, whose new book just came out this week.
Come here.
Tiffany Jenkins grew up in Sarasota and attended Sarasota High.
I was captain of the cheerleading squad there. That was like my glory days.
She didn't drink.
My senior year, I took a sip of alcohol. I was around people who were drinking and partying, and when I took that sip of alcohol, 2 months later, I dropped out of school.
She was partying hard.
There was a time when somebody offered me what ended up being my drug of choice. And they didn't say, here you go, here is this drug, but just so you know, it's going to destroy your life, it's going to turn you into a liar, a manipulator, a thief, and a felon.
It was a prescription painkiller.
As soon as I took that first pill, I felt amazing.
But soon if she couldn't get the drug, she'd have terrible withdrawals. She tried rehab, but was soon back using. She met a police officer, they moved in together, and she hid her drug use from him.
In order to support my habit, I began taking things from around the home and pawning them for money for my drugs.
And committing other crimes. She was arrested.
I was charged with over 20 felonies at one time.
She went to jail.
I withdrawed from drugs on the floor of a jail cell in the observation tank because I had tried to end my life.
When she got out, she went into a halfway house.
It was in the halfway house that I met my boyfriend, and after 2 months of dating, I found out that I was pregnant in a halfway house.
She and her boyfriend got married.
When my son was 6 months old, I found out that I was pregnant again with my daughter.
And her husband's young daughter came to live with them. Together, they started building a new life in a home filled with joy.
I almost missed this. It's like you can't, when you're in your addiction and you're in a tough spot, you try to picture what your future's like, and it's usually dark. But it is a fact that if you are able to get and stay clean and keep doing the right thing and making the right choices, that your future will be more beautiful than you could have ever dreamed.
Oh my gosh, you guys, rotisserie chickens are $5.
Tiffany has now been clean for 5 years. She writes a blog about motherhood and life and has 200,000 followers.
The biggest life lesson that I've learned is keeping hope alive. Because it's easy when you're down and out and at your rock bottom to think that this is all there's ever going to be. But as long as you have a little bit of hope, then anything is possible.
Tiffany has written a book about her incredible journey. It's called High Achiever, and it is now available on Amazon as an ebook or as a paperback. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Let's get back to the kitchen now. Judy is there with a guest today, Chef Alex King from Carmel Kitchen. Guys?
I'm ready to get started.
You ready?
This is a really simple dish.
It is a pretty
Classic and
simple dish, yeah.
So people will feel empowered to make it at home. Let's get started.
Yeah, all right, so we got a hot pan here, and we're gonna sear our lamb chops first. So a little olive oil. You don't want to use butter here because we want to get a good sear on there.
Okay. Now, do we marinate the lamb?
We do marinate the lamb. You can find that recipe online. I didn't want to do it today because we have to do it overnight. So the day before, you want to marinate it, put it in the fridge so it takes on the flavor.
And what type of ingredients are in the marinade?
This marinade, we have Dijon mustard, rosemary, garlic, and Moroccan spice, which is kind of a mix of spices.
Oh, I love that. Perfect. And Moroccan spice is very simple to find over at the Spice and Tea Exchange in St.
Of course,
Armand.
yeah, it's great. It's not too spicy, but it's nice. It adds a lot of flavor to the dish. So we're going to start with the fat side down.
My husband would be drooling if he were watching right now.
Yeah,
My husband's they're big lamb eaters.
All right, now well, that's serious. I'm going to go over here. We have our polenta going.
Okay.
So in this pot, I have butter, I have stock, and I have salt. So you're going to get that to a boil.
Is that chicken stock, I assume?
Vegetable
right?
stock.
Vegetable stock,
Yeah.
even better.
So we're going to add in our cornmeal.
Okay.
And we're going to give that a whisk. Now, when you're doing polenta, you really want to pay attention to it. Keep whisking it because if it sticks to the bottom and burns, you're going to have a little off flavor in there.
And it's going to lump if you don't keep working it.
Exactly,
so that's good
yeah.
to give an assistant that job, right? Of just kind of stirring.
If you have an assistant, of course, yeah.
I mean assistant as in grandchild or anything like that.
Yeah, friends in the kitchen.
We're going to have that sear some more, and we're going to come back, finish up the polenta, and you'll be able to make this easy, delicious dish at no time.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Do you have type 2 diabetes, which requires daily blood monitoring? If you have diabetes, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for diabetic testing supplies at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. Our accredited staff will handle all of your paperwork for free. And best of all, your diabetic testing supplies are shipped directly to your home for free. Call now to see if you qualify for a meter upgrade and a free pedometer to monitor your daily walking. Use alternate testing sites, a smaller blood sample, and even hear your results out loud. Will you qualify for diabetic testing supplies and an upgraded meter covered by Medicare, Obamacare, or health insurance at little to no out-of-pocket cost to you?
Find out for free by calling the Diabetes Resource Center at 1-800-394-1098. That's 1-800-394-1098, 1-800-394-1098.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Get KBV's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for as little as $24,999. Or be one of the first to drive away in a 2018 Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Tampa's police chief says there was no apparent motive by the suspect accused of shooting 4 people in the Seminole Heights neighborhood of Tampa. Speaking Wednesday morning on ABC's Good Morning America, Chief Brian Dugan said police will still need help from the public as they try to learn more about 24-year-old Howell Donaldson, who was arrested yesterday and is facing 4 counts of first-degree murder. Dugan said Donaldson has not admitted to the shootings, but did admit to owning a gun he took into a McDonald's shortly before being taken into custody. During a press conference today, Tampa's mayor showed no mercy.
I think at the end of this, if he is found to be guilty, he should die.
Chief Dugan added that there is still a lot of work to be done in this case, but justice will be served when they get a conviction. Tax reform continues to dominate Congress this week. Florida Senator Marco Rubio urging lawmakers to make the child tax credit applicable to payroll taxes. Rubio says the child tax credit takes into account the reality that raising children is an expense. He says it doesn't always matter how much you make, but how much you spend.
And when you're raising children and raising a family, the costs are often out of your control, and they increase substantially every single year.
Rubio is proposing adding the child tax credit to the payroll tax, which would benefit more working-class people. Police are searching for a missing teen from Jacksonville that might have run away with her soccer coach. Investigators say surveillance video captured Caitlin Frasina and her soccer coach together in Georgia this morning. They wouldn't say where, but they believe the two are headed north.
I texted him first thing that morning, hey, have you heard anything? Have you talked to anybody that knows? And I haven't heard anything. When I call his phone, it goes to, I can't get a hold of him.
He's a family friend, and we've known him for several years through the soccer and the school and everything.
Rodriguez works as the head soccer coach for the boys team at Frasina's high school. Her father is the head coach for the girls team and brought Rodriguez to the school last year. Loose dogs ravaging a North Florida neighborhood, killing small animals who live in cages. One Jacksonville resident says the dogs have attacked her animals 5 times in the last few weeks. One day she even caught the dogs in the act. With concern for her children, she says she may take matters into her own hands.
An animal attacks one of my children. Am I supposed to shoot it before or after my child is dead?
She's lost 3 chickens and a rabbit to the animals and says the city's animal control department won't do much about it. She even found an owner for one of the dogs, but says the most aggressive ones are not wearing collars. Thousands of homes in Puerto Rico still remain in desperate need of emergency repair, in part because of a company from Florida. FEMA awarded $30 million in contracts to Bronze Star LLC in St. Cloud, which never delivered supplies. FEMA eventually terminated the contracts without paying any money and restarted the process this month to supply more tarps for the island. Thousands of Puerto Ricans remain homeless. Many complain the federal government is taking too long to install those tarps. Here on the Suncoast, a new chairwoman for the Sarasota County School Board. In a unanimous decision, Bridget Ziegler was chosen by her fellow board members to be the chair. Jane Goodwin chosen to serve as vice chair. Ziegler, who has served as vice chair for the last year, succeeds Caroline Zucker as chair. Ziegler's choice is considered by many to be a positive step toward cooperation within the board, which has split on many issues affecting the school district. Pines of Sarasota Foundation holding its popular Wit and Wisdom Luncheon today. The 8th annual event is underway at Michaels on East, and it will help benefit the Pines of Sarasota. This year's panel includes Nate Jacobs, the founding artistic director of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe, former school superintendent Lori White, and Matt Walsh of the Observer Media Group. By the way, ABC 7's Ray Collins is moderating today's discussion. And let's get a check now on our weather again with meteorologist John Scalzi. And I didn't realize we were so much above what we're supposed to be, like 7 to 8 degrees.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
wow.
It's pretty impressive, actually. The temperatures that we're going to see today, I think, are pretty amazing. Now, we won't break our record here, but we'll get pretty close to seeing some records broken across the area. We'll maybe have some a little bit lower records. Ours is 87 for today. We're not going to get that warm.
That's
but you know, some places will get pretty close to their records. For us, I just love it. I mean, that breeze that blows, even though it's warm outside, the breeze that blows has felt pretty good. Now, today that breeze will be a little less effective because the moisture in the air. And you feel it, right? You can feel how much more humid it is out there. And that's because our dew points have risen thanks to that wind transporting the moisture in from the Atlantic. Van Wezel webcam not showing a whole lot in the way of any kind of Inclement weather on our doorstep. No siree. A few fair weather clouds, but notice these clouds, how they don't have much loft to them. They're kind of flat. And the reason for that is the air is still pretty stable aloft. High pressure building in from the north, and the little area of disturbed weather beginning to kind of just fade away, mix away, and actually move off toward the east, a large part of it. So we are left with just the effects really today of increasing moisture, daytime heating, and that easterly wind kicking off a few showers. Now it's possible Hardy and DeSoto get to see a few showers, maybe eastern parts of Charlotte County. But otherwise, we stay rain-free today, and we stay warm. We'll have the complete forecast, including when we might see a cool down, coming up in just a few. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. North Korea launching another missile and creating a greater threat. ABC's Serena Marshall has more on the powerful missile, which North Korea claims is nuclear capable and could reach the entire U.S. mainland.
North Korea with another missile test, this time putting the United States in striking zone. This morning, following a call with the Chinese president, President Trump tweeted, additional major sanctions will be imposed on North Korea today. This situation will be handled. But this latest launch, their 18th missile test this year, traveled the highest and longest distance yet, 2,800 miles into space for roughly 50 minutes. Like the others, it was aimed vertically, but if the angle was horizontal, it could potentially reach as far as Washington, D.C. or New York.
The research and development effort on their part to continue building ballistic missiles that could threaten everywhere in the world, basically.
The president's response yesterday didn't promise fire and fury. Instead, he simply stated,
a missile was launched a little while ago from North Korea. I will only tell you that we will take care of it. It is a situation that we will handle.
But Senator Lindsey Graham with a different tone.
If we have to go to war to stop this, we will. And if there's a war with North Korea, it'd be because North Korea brought it on itself. And we're headed toward a war if things don't change.
As North Korea's citizens took to the streets to celebrate the launch, in Hawaii, preparations. An attack warning tone testing starting Friday to alert residents of an imminent attack and to seek shelter. China's foreign minister said they are strongly against the launch. And later today, the UN Security Council meets for an emergency session. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Former President Obama is heading to Asia and Europe. He'll visit China first, India, and then France on a 5-day trip. Former president will meet with China's president. This will be the first the two have met since Obama left office, and also the first time since both leaders ratified the Paris Climate Agreement for their respective countries. President Trump, who visited China earlier this month, of course, announced his decision to withdraw the U.S. from that Paris Accord back in June. There have been at least 3 cases of alleged sexual assault at Massage Envy locations in Colorado, and now industry regulators have a message for consumers before they book their next appointment. Massage Envy has nearly 1,200 spas nationwide and has grown into a billion-dollar business. According to a report by BuzzFeed, more than 180 people have filed sexual assault lawsuits, police reports, and state board complaints against Massage Envy, spas, their employees, and the national company. Their review of the company's policy suggests the burden for protecting customers falls on the franchise owners. Customers are encouraged to contact law enforcement.
File a complaint with us, contact law enforcement, make sure that you're proactive and prevent it from happening to anyone else.
BuzzFeed's review of the company's policies, however, found that when faced with complaints, even serious allegations, the company, quote, does not compel its franchisees to notify law enforcement or to hire qualified investigators to help determine what happened. Las Vegas police are investigating a robbery at the Bellagio Hotel Casino. The man reportedly pulled up to the valet area armed with a gun and with bandages on his face. Witnesses say he looked like he'd been in a fight. He walked up to a poker cage, demanded money. Witnesses say the cashier was startled but stayed cool.
She started to giving the money to this guy, and we're so happy. The lady, she don't make anything, because we never know what will happen. Maybe the guy start to shoot.
Well, the woman's reaction is why many people say no one was hurt in this crime. The man got away, but police are still investigating and looking for him. Let's get back to the kitchen now. Judy there with a guest today, Chef Alex from Carmel Kitchen.
Scott, smelling really good, and I know John Scalzi's going to want a bite of this lamb chop. So let's finish up the polenta.
All right, so once you've cooked out your polenta, you want to add in your fats, so we're going to add in some heavy cream to there.
Oh yeah, I love heavy cream.
And then everyone's favorite, we're going to add in our Parmesan cheese to make it our Parmesan polenta. You don't want to be stingy with the cheese. People love it.
No, thank you. I want plenty of cheese.
Yeah.
I like the cream. That's what I love about the polenta is the creaminess that you add into it. And I assume you're going to season it now?
Yep, we're going to add a little crushed red pepper.
Oh, great.
You don't want to add that too early because it'll get a little bit too spicy.
Yep.
And then a little salt to your taste. Not too much because the saltiness of the cheese is in there. And now we're good to go and plate up. So we're going to add the polenta right on the plate.
And this polenta dish alone can go with chicken or steak or, I mean,
you can eat it by itself if you want to. It's
yeah. I would have it in the morning, even with a little red pepper in that.
Now we're going to throw our lemon down for a garnish.
Okay.
The lamb chops right on top, nice and pretty. And a little classical rosemary goes right in there.
I love it. What
That's
a
all you have.
beautiful dish. This just looks creamy and delicious. It's easy enough to make. And you know, I'm thinking with holiday parties, if you served everyone a small plate with one,
yeah, just one.
right? That would be just like the perfect bite, and they can grab right on there on the rack, so it's going to be wonderful. Now, I want to remind everybody it's Wednesday, and that means we'll be drawing a name for our weekly gift card drawing. You can win a $50 gift card to various restaurants on the Suncoast. You can look on mysuncoast.com/dining. Might even be from Carmel Kitchen. Alex,
I hope so.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to a bite, and I know, John Scalzi, I'll save you a bite too. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
82-degree air temperature. We have a little bit of fair weather clouds out there. We certainly have a high dew point at 68. Dew points in the low 60s, most people would say is comfortable. In the 50s, fantastic. When they get up close to the 70 mark, it starts to feel a little bit humid out there, and I think most people would agree that it feels a little humid as we head into the afternoon and we add a degree or two more onto our daytime high temperature, 83, 84, maybe some places 85 degrees for a daytime high. It's going to feel kind of sticky at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. East wind comes in at about 3, and that will help, that wind, but the winds will start to subside a little bit as well during the afternoon and then spike again during the overnight tonight. 80 degrees Wauchula, Arcadia at 80, 79 degrees Mayaca, Northport at 80, 81 in Venice, 80 in Bradenton Parish, Lakewood Ranch. Kind of uniform temperatures because of that breezy wind. The wind picking up moisture off the Atlantic, slinging it in this direction, creating a few scattered showers along the eastern seaboard. Now, it's been a kind of a wet, somewhat dreary day, a little bit more cloud cover right along the eastern coast of the state of Florida and the southern tip. But even here locally, I think Hardee and DeSoto have a chance at seeing a shower or two build. I don't think these showers will make it much further than inland sections of Hardee and DeSoto County before they just completely dampen out. And certainly the evening hours, I think, will be rain-free. Satellite views showing a few of those clouds trying to move in, and we'll see some of those fair weather clouds from time to time transported from the Atlantic, but we'll also grow a few locally with all of the moisture that's beginning to build across the region. Across the nation, the eastern seaboard looks pretty good if you're traveling today. Back to the west, showers and thunderstorms possible in and around areas of the open plains, around an area of low pressure that's developing there. Kansas City, possibly seeing some thunderstorm activity. And then back to the west, another frontal boundary, which will be marching in this direction. The first front kind of washes away, but the second front picks up where the first one left off and actually makes it through the area as we head into Friday. Now, you'll hardly notice it. Winds may pick up just a little bit, but other than that, it's not going to produce any rainfall. What it will do is take our winds, which around the underbelly of this high are coming in out of the east, and it'll tend to push them a little bit more to the north, and that'll draw down some drier, slightly drier air, and some slightly cooler air as well for the weekend. Today, it'll be warm, it'll be humid, but still pretty much dry for everyone, except, as I mentioned, those most inland locations. We'll look at the RPM computer model, and we'll notice most of the rain is falling from the interstate back and then kind of clears out pretty quickly as we head into the evening hours. It stays clear during the overnight, and then tomorrow morning, maybe we start to see a few more clouds building by around this time tomorrow. Again, the rain chance very minimal. So for boaters, not bad. Look at that northeast wind at about 10 knots, subsiding a bit, then picking up again tonight at about 15 knots. That'll bring you a moderate chop. And over the next several days, we'll have temperatures that'll be warm, no doubt about it. And then as we head into the weekend, that front coming through on Friday will kind of knock down the temperatures a few degrees. Nighttime lows knock down a few degrees, but it will be noticeably less humid, which I think will make a big difference as well. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Rent is on the rise in the Sarasota area. That's according to reports from apartmentlist.com. The report claims rent has increased by nearly 2% every year in the city of Sarasota. Last month, rent rates remained flat, however. But Sarasota residents are not the only ones feeling the pinch in their wallet. The entire state is. According to the report, the average rents in Sarasota, $1,080 a month for a one-bedroom and nearly $1,400 a month for a two-bedroom apartment. Converse has launched a line of water-resistant shoes and outerwear. Here's just some of the new water-resistant clothing they're selling. It's part of Urban Utility Collection from Converse and Gore. That's the company behind the waterproof Gore-Tex fabrics. The line is the latest change for Converse, which is now owned by athletics giant Nike. Last year, Converse released its first line of basic apparel. For the second straight day, Southwest Airlines customers having problems managing reservations. The airline apologizing to its customers who were having difficulty on the website as well as the carrier's mobile app. Some travelers complained on Twitter that they were unable to check in online for their flights. Southwest introduced a new reservation system in May, which has caused sporadic problems for travelers. There's a flaw in Apple's newest computer operating system that allows someone to gain administrative capabilities without a password. The flaw, discovered by an outside developer, affects Mac OS High Sierra. The hack gives root access to the computer, meaning a person could operate the device as if they were an administrator and could download viruses. An Apple spokesperson released a statement saying they are working on a software update to address the issue. Google has fixed its hamburger emoji. You may remember the online uproar last month after it was discovered that Google's burger emoji had cheese at the bottom of the burger. The horror of it all. A tweet about it went viral, and after getting grilled, Google's CEO jokingly said he would drop everything to fix the issue, and he has kept his word. According to Emojipedia, the new burger design for Android puts the cheese in the correct place, which is, of course, on the top of the burger patty. We can all rest easy, right? Still to come in your Suncoast News, a Victoria's Secret model took a tumble during the annual fashion show. How her fellow angels consoled her backstage.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $11,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
And welcome back. Chef, why don't you say what the dish was again?
All right, we got New Zealand lamb chops with some Parmesan polenta. You won't find them on our menu, but ask for them when you come in. We'll always have them for you.
So that's the hidden secret you got here right now on TV. Tell us about what happens tonight with Wednesdays.
Tonight's Wine Wednesday down at Carmel, so you get half price off any bottle of wine. So come on in, ask for me, and drink some wine.
That's right, and you can talk recipes with them as well. Now remember, you can log on to mysuncoast.com, click on the recipes. You go to dining, then the recipes. You'll get the recipe, the video, and so much more. Click on those restaurants and you'll be able to see their websites, special deals they have, especially nowadays. There's going to be lots of fun wine dinners, upcoming events, and you'll learn more.
Yeah,
Thanks
check out
so
our
much
website.
for coming in, Alex.
We
really appreciate it. It's delicious. Scott, back to you.
All right, Judy, thank you both. It's the fall scene around the world. A model took a spill on stage during the annual Victoria's Secret fashion show. It was pre-taped last week in Shanghai. There were rumors the blunder would be cut out when the show aired on network TV last night. Well, it did air. Not only did they show the fall, but they included producer commentary and followed the action backstage. Here, the Chinese model got tangled in a flowy ensemble and hit the catwalk. She recovered with a smile and applause from the audience, but backstage she broke down into tears. Cameras also caught some of her fellow models coming to comfort her. The next royal wedding has a location. It is Windsor Castle, west of London. That's where Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle will tie the knot sometime next spring. St. George's Chapel at the castle is where Harry's father, Prince Charles, married Camilla Parker Bowles. It's seen as a more intimate venue than Westminster Abbey, where Prince William married Kate Middleton 6 years ago. We're still waiting, though, on an exact date of the big wedding. Modern Family star Eric Stonestreet helping deliver a shipment of toys to the police department in Kansas City. The truckload of toys, thousands of dollars worth, was dropped off at the police station yesterday. Stonestreet, who is originally from Kansas City and plays the character Cameron Tucker on Modern Family, also stopped to take photos with some of the officers. The police chief said on Twitter the toys are already being distributed randomly to children in need in the community. Wonderful gesture there.
That's so
nice.
Truckload. I love
That's
that.
neat. Yeah.
He's supposed to be a really nice guy.
Yeah, seems like it.
That show is great. I just love that show.
Me too.
One of my favorites.
Been fun watching the kids grow up too.
Yeah, you're right.
If you missed it for a little bit, you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, the kids are
I know.
huge now.
Yeah, it's very true.
know.
Yeah.
Growing.
Yeah.
You wonder how long before, I guess one of them's going off to college now, but how long before, they all go away, and then what do?
You start a new show.
You start a new show. I guess that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
Great show, though. Love it. We have warm temperatures here on the Sun Coast, humid conditions as well. Should be a lovely afternoon, though, and a lovely evening as well.
Okay. John, Judy, thank you both. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you again at 5 o'clock. Hope to see you then, everyone.